Ladies, gents, how's it going? Random Gary here once again. Gary Prout, for those of you that don't know. If you don't know why this channel is called the Gallantry Review videos, it's because I spent 12 years in the British Army. As part of my 12 years, I deployed to a number of operational theatres. And on my third operational tour, my second in Afghanistan, I received the nation's second highest award for gallantry, the Conspicuous Gallantry Cross. Today we're going to be looking at somebody who taught me a lot of lessons without ever meeting me. His name is Willy Apiata. He's a Kiwi, a member of the New Zealand Special Air Service. We're going to watch the same video that I learned whenever I heard I was going to get an award. Now the thing is whenever you get an award, things about your life will change. It'll change beyond recognition, some aspects. But there is no book on what it's like. There is no book on how to behave. There is no book on things to set your expectations of what is going to change. You kind of have to find your own path. Anyway, I seen this guy receive his award, and it just set the example. It was just incredible. Let's watch the video and see what I had to watch whenever I was getting my award. It's just incredible. Hope you enjoy it.
At the headquarters of New Zealand Special Air Service, the commanding officer is about to release the biggest story in the unit's history. One he has kept secret for almost a year.
When I took over from my predecessor, he informed me of a number of issues, and his parting shot was, oh, and by the way, you might want to keep your eye on this.
In 2006, the colonel was handed a dossier recommending one of his corporals receive the highest award for gallantry. And
by the way, just to get access into this kind of place, I know that it's not as tight as the British Special Air Service, but you're in the office of the commanding officer of the SAS, the New Zealand SAS here. This is unprecedented. This is unreal.
1 month ago, that recommendation was approved by the head of the Commonwealth, the Queen. The manner of this honor makes the story too big to hide, so Corporal Willy Apiata must be revealed to the New Zealand public tomorrow.
Hey, Willie. Let's go.
Willie's just been called to the CO's office. The RSM's about to take him up in, and there's video cameras here. There's somebody in Willie's world where everything, any kind of little bit of information is too much. His mind must be going at 1,000,000 miles per hour. I can remember getting a call from my battery sergeant major, and I kind of got up to his office, and I was like, "Hey, Bez, what's up?" And he turned around and he went, "You have to go to the RSM's office." And I was like, "The RSM?" And we had been out on a bit of a battery piss up the night before, so straight away I was thinking to myself, what did I get up to last night? I hope I haven't messed up. You know, I was trying to remember what we done in our kind of drunken states, and I didn't think I'd done anything, so I quickly went away. I shot my shoes, and I went up to the RSM. RSM marched me straight into the CO, and then my battery sergeant major just kind of did one at that point. And I can remember being stood there. I went in, properly halted, get banged up a massive salute. And my commanding officer said, "Bomb." He said, "Honours and awards is being released in 1 week. I'm informing you that you're receiving something on it." He says, "I have no idea what you're getting." He says, "I don't know what you're getting it for." He said, "All I can tell you is it's not milk bottle top. This is something serious." I can remember just sitting there thinking, I have no idea what it could be. Genuinely no idea. And I did have a bit of a dodgy spell at the beginning of my kind of tour where I was just doing lots of silly stuff. And he was saying, "Bomb, you've got a week." Told me bomb because it's bombardier. You've got a week. You need to let your family know. You need to make sure everything's in the right place. Being from Northern Ireland, there is considerable kind of security threat there. He was like, this is going to get released in 1 week's time. I did say about remaining anonymous, and it came back like, eventually your name will get put into the London Gazette. That's where we name all of our gallantry recipients. They said if it's delayed going in, there's an automatic assumption that you're special forces, therefore it will draw more attention to you. They said just go ahead with it, just do the minimum of what you need to do. And couldn't have imagined kind of how much people focused on me in that initial announcement, but it was just this surreal place where 1 week I was this lance jack, this lance bombardier in the Royal Artillery, just a normal everyday bod, and then a week later it was announced live on TV. My parents were floating across from Northern Ireland. We were in an impressive location in London, and yeah, it's unreal how uncomfortable it is. Let's see, Willie.
A 5-year veteran of this unit, Willy Apiata is oblivious to what awaits.
It's usually bad news for a corporal to be dragged into the CO's office on any day, let alone a Sunday morning.
Monday.
Morning, Willie. Have a sit down.
Probably received the shock of his life over the next 5 minutes.
I like how they didn't take the cameras in, because that's just going to be an overwhelming moment for Willie. Unreal, incredible. Cannot imagine what went on in that room.
Laid out in front of Willy Apiata, 3 letters.
So I was sort of wondering, what the hell's going on here. And I opened the first letter and started reading through, and yeah, it was quite speechless actually.
Just listening to him talk, that humility, the head's cocked over, it's almost as if he's reliving all of that emotion again. And this really resonated with me. This was really powerful for me.
Yeah, and emotional.
The Queen's representative, the Governor-General, the New Zealand Prime Minister and Minister of Defence confirmed that Willy Apiata will receive the rarest of military honours, making him one of just 12 holders of the Victoria Cross alive in the world.
Didn't really get a chance for it to sink, and I was whisked away down to Wellington that afternoon.
It sounds like a real rush job. I was so thankful that I had that week soak period where I could just tell my nearest and dearest that this was happening. But to be whisked straight down and to be doing this here, yeah, it must have been quite the roller coaster for him.
As a Special Forces soldier, the disclosure of Corporal Willy Apiata's actions is unprecedented. He is also the first person to receive the Victoria Cross for New Zealand.
I think it was around about 92, whenever my award actually came into being. I think that I think it was around about then that the Victoria Cross was then the authority was handed out to the areas. So you have the Canadian, the Australian, the New Zealand Victoria Cross, and whilst they still go through the head of state, the Queen, in order to kind of give it, it's still down to the nation that wants to award it. So that's why he'll be the first recipient of the New Zealand Victoria Cross. He's not the first Kiwi recipient of Victoria Cross.
Willy is flanked by his commanding officer, his regimental sergeant major, and a carefully chosen mentor from the unit. While in Wellington, their job is to keep Willy up close, but out of sight, until tomorrow's announcement.
It's hard enough for me knowing, but it's not me that was receiving the medal. For Willy, it would have been near impossible to sit on a secret like that, knowing that his whole life was going to change.
The first step in this life-changing event takes the group to an almost deserted New Zealand Defence headquarters, where the team responsible for overseeing tomorrow's public announcement has a long night planned.
Okay. Hey, Clive.
G'day.
How are you?
Good.
Clive Robertson. Willie Apiata.
Hey, Willie. Right.
Yeah, right. Clive's going to news you up, way up for your uniforms, then after that we get some photos done.
Okay, cool. All right.
Straight away, Willy is sent for a uniform fitting in an adjacent building.
One day you'll have a statue like this here.
The statue of Brigadier Bernard Freyberg VC is a reminder to Willy of his newfound status.
Willie looking straight ahead like you would. Yep. Wow.
I can remember going into like regimental headquarters, and there were a couple pictures of a few of the boys who been awarded military crosses, and again, just being there, knowing that this was about to come round the corner, and seeing the kind of pedestal that we put these people on. I can remember thinking, that's going to be really awkward if that ever happens. And I was always about just doing my job really, really well. I wasn't one about kind of recognition or anything. So this resonated with me with Willie. Whenever he's looking at that statue, you can feel like he's just stood there, kind of because that camera's asking him to be stood there. He wouldn't want to be here if it was his choice, and that ability to take himself out of that situation. That's just what you felt from him. That humility again, just incredible.
Just drop you onto our side.
Willie gets a new uniform, befitting the occasion of such an announcement.
I had to get issued a set of deserts. All of my other ones were torn to shreds, so I had to go to the QMs and say, yeah, I need some deserts. And he was like, what do you want them for? And I was like, I just need a set. And he was like, oh, send me on my way. So I then had to go up and get the RSM and go down to the QMs with the RSM, and the RSM turned around and was like, give him a set of deserts. Don't ask any questions, just give him a set of deserts. And then it was the same with my military uniform, because we were getting new military uniform. I had to get it before everybody else, and then I had to get whenever you actually go to see the Queen, you have to get your medal ribbons on before you actually receive the award. And it was going to the local quartermaster tailors and saying, I'll need these ribbons on it, and they were like, well, we've never heard of that one, we haven't done any of them, we'll have to order that in especially. And it was, you know, uniforms and shiny stuff was not my thing, but it was just due to the situation. But Willie's had to get fitted out from top to bottom in a day. I feel sorry for him, I feel sorry for the tailor.
You know, Willie's more comfortable in a pair of gumboots and a pair of old trackies, or his hunting gear. The reality of it is that, you know, that's not appropriate attire for a public event.
It's all organised.
As the evening draws on, Willie receives an unexpected visit from the country's most senior military commander, Lieutenant General Jerry Mataparai.
From 10:30 a.m. tomorrow, you'll be wearing those. Good luck.
I think that was his Victoria Cross ribbon. So even before you get awarded, as soon as the press announcement happens that you're to receive a significant award, you can then wear the ribbon, and it's after the investiture, as we would call it, where you receive the medal, that you then wear the medal. That's the traditional kind of Maori. I believe it's a mark of respect. Is it Kiora, you call it? I should know this. My wife's a Kiwi. I think Kiora is what you say, isn't it? But yeah, that's the mark of respect from one Kiwi to another.
See you tomorrow.
Understandably nervous, Willie is the first New Zealand recipient of a Victoria Cross in 64 years.
I'm just going to relax. We get plenty of this. It's a fairly daunting prospect to know that you've gone from relative anonymity to becoming a public figure for the rest of your life.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay, you can relax.
You can relax. Is that guy taking the piss? About to be the highest decorated Special Forces soldier in New Zealand's history, and this bloke is telling him, you can. Hi mate, I'll just relax, yeah. Off.
Willie gets a crash course on how to be an overnight hero.
Willie's a very humble person by nature and not prone to saying too much.
But that doesn't cut the mustard. You know, when an announcement like this is made, then people want to know a little bit about you and they want to hear your story.
You're a hero.
Don't say that.
Absolutely. Now, you might need to hear that a few more times before it starts sitting comfortably, and you're going to hear it a lot. As of tomorrow, when the first radio bulletins go out, you are a New Zealand celebrity. People will be reading the Prime Minister's announcement and seeing your photo all around the world by 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's how big and how fast it's all going to happen.
And that absolutely did happen. Now, I met Willie. I spent a number of nights with him, maybe having a beer or two at the Invictus Games in 2014 here in London. And I think it must have been amazing for him. I was one of the only people who kind of really pinged him and knew exactly who he was. We had a few friends in common, and with my Kiwi links, my wife being a Kiwi, I got on with him and another one of their competitors. So we had a few beers together. I think it was fantastic for him just to go back and be normal Willie to some degree. The New Zealand team knew who he was. I knew who he was. Nobody told anybody else who he was, which was amazing for him. And it wasn't until the final evening at the final concert that he actually got his suit on and he wore his medals out to the event. Yeah, it was fantastic. Quite humble. I'll drop in a couple pictures of us. But yeah. I think he liked getting away from that celebrity status. I really do.
Yeah, now that's going to take a little while to rattle around in between your ears. But I'm telling you now, bro, it's the absolute reality.
It's like, hey, you jump into the deep end of a pool and you can't really swim, mate. And you're treading so much water trying to get back to the surface.
At midnight, the call is made to stop.
Yeah, we might leave it there then. 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
For Willie, a sleepless night lies ahead, as he knows that tomorrow, New Zealand will be delivered the groundbreaking news. They have a new hero.
I think I got quite drunk at. We were staying in a hotel in London. I think I had quite a few beers and just tried to chill out.
The job I do, even giving a little is too much.
And when you're ready, just start.
Lieutenant Colonel Mike Shatford briefs the press on the ground rules.
I was lucky. Whenever I went to press, it was almost a round robin. There was a number of us there, getting the announcement and being interviewed by the press. I have no idea what it would have been like for Willie to be marched out by himself, with press there asking, and the press do ask shit questions. They're just trying to get a story, ultimately. Some of them know what they're at, but other ones just ask really crap questions. So it's, yeah, I can't imagine what it must have been like for the guy.
What I'd like to do is just outline the process that's going to happen this afternoon, so we're all clear on the rules of the game. Cook Regatta has only just found out about this huge honour. It is quite overwhelming, so I would ask that you go as easy as you possibly can on him.
Willie's moment of reckoning cannot be delayed any longer.
I don't think anyone can prepare themselves for what I walked into that morning.
No way. It's horrible, eh?
I'm right behind you. Cheers, sir.
Just standing there was just unreal, eh? It's just real emotional.
Willy Apiata joins yet another group of elite people. This is the first award of the Victoria Cross for New Zealand. His is the first.
Watch Willie's face. It's like he's hearing this for the first time. Where's my cursor? Watch this again. It is genuinely like he is hearing this for the first time himself. I wonder if this is the moment where it suddenly became real for him.
Just standing there was just unreal, eh? It's just real emotional.
Willy Apiata joins yet another group of elite people. This is the first award of the Victoria Cross for New Zealand. His is the first and the only Victoria Cross to be awarded to a New Zealand serviceman since the end of the Second World War.
The questioning quickly turns to that night in Afghanistan.
Hey, I was doing my job, and just looking after my mates. It was the...
What was going through your mind at that time?
You can sense the anticipation of the press. Get some sort of information out of you so they can tell your story. Where's my buddies? How can I help them?
During this incident, did you feel fear? I mean, what was the feeling that went through you as you were doing this?
At the time, I was just doing what I've been trained for, doing my job, look out for my mates, watch each other's back, and at the heat of the moment, I can't really say at this time.
There was a lot of fire going on. You weren't worried about being hit.
Oh, I think it's probably time to take the question somewhere else. Willie's obviously quite overwhelmed by the situation today, and perhaps we could talk a little bit more about some other things.
Do you see yourself perhaps as the living legend, as others might do from the state ward?
I see myself as Willy Apiata. I'm just an ordinary person, and this is me. Yeah.
That was it. That was the moment I watched this and I was like, that's how you need to be in this situation. You need to remind yourself, you're just yourself. You're no different. And that's the incredible thing, what your true mates will do. They'll just treat you as before. They'll take the piss out of you for it. They'll relentlessly take the piss out of you for it. But they'll treat you absolutely no differently. And you know you can go back to the block. You can have a few beers. You can chill out. And there's not going to be any shitty questions like this. That's where your buddies come in.
This is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, actually.
Good one. Well done.
Thank you, sir. That was a great job. It was an enormous amount of pressure on him to present himself. I think he did a great job. But Willie was just Willie. He was just being himself. That is him. That is Willie the man.
After facing the cameras, Willie asked for a private moment with the people who helped him through it.
I've always been a man of few words, but I need to say something, and since 9 o'clock yesterday, it's just been an unbelievable experience. The old 12 o'clock news today, that sort of really hit home for me. I'd just like to thank you all for everything that you've done in the last 3 years, building up to this day. I can't believe I only just found out 9 o'clock yesterday about all of this, but thanks very much. I just words just can't explain how much I appreciate what you fellas have done. So, thank you. Kia ora.
The man, the legend himself, Willy Apiata VC. Give a thumbs up, guys, if you like this video. Please feel free to hit that subscribe button. Just cleared 800 subscribers. We will be doing a 1,000 subscriber giveaway, so all you need to do is be a subscriber and write your comments below. I will be drawing it out still to decide what the prize is going to be. Yeah, drop a note if you've got any ideas, and I hope to see you again very soon. Have a good one. See you later. Why did I salute? I don't know. See ya.